Welcome to the second installment of Smarties Serial, an editorial series by Raynard Wilson. He has addressed some of the audio problems he had last time, and he's making more improvements as he goes. But here we go, Raynard Wilson.
Do your own research. It's a phrase that can mean so much. Amongst conspiracy friends, it means we agree with your independent-minded defiance of the mainstream orthodoxy. It's a shorthand for saying, this is just what I believe. You don't have to believe me. Form your own conclusions. Do your own research. It seems so reasonable, so open-minded. It's a catchphrase that validates everybody's opinion and insulates the speaker from being wrong. Just about anything goes as long as you're on board with the big conspiracy theory. You might think that the aliens have green skin, and I'm fairly sure that the aliens have grey skin. What matters is that we did our own research and we're both aliens. There's no indication of quality in the phrase, do your own research. It doesn't matter if you spent a lifetime in academia, your years of elitist, conflicted, deep state ivory tower, thesis writing, exam passing, and professor's ass kissing research is no more valid than my weekend watching David Icke videos on BitChute. Do your own research is such a flexible phrase, it can sometimes mean the exact opposite of that, though. It can be an expression of frustration. When you ask a truther for them to explain how their beliefs were formed, what evidence led them to a particular set of conclusions, and why they think what they think, they might just say, do your own research. It's an admission that they don't really have any evidence, that they can't actually justify their deeply held beliefs. Do your own research is an attempt to basically fob you off. I can't be bothered to explain what I think. Do your own research. And what counts as research anyway? I suppose it could be decades of study in the world's greatest libraries, consulting with renowned professors, and a lifetime of industry experience. But for the truthers, it's more likely to be a vision in a dream they once had, or hours spent watching infomercials featuring our friend Sasha Stone. It doesn't really matter because from the truther's perspective, research is private. It's an almost religious experience. Arguing with a person's research is like trying to argue away their faith. There can be no such thing as bad research, just like there's no such thing as a bad religion, unless your research contradicts the group's narrative. If your research somehow leads you to believe that 5G is not a weapon, and that vaccines are beneficial, and that Bill Gates might just be the normal kind of billionaire asshole, well, you failed as a researcher. You didn't really do your own research, did you? You weren't independent enough. Your sources were captured, biased, wrong. Perhaps you should still do your own research, but do it all over again and come to the right conclusion next time. That's another meaning of the phrase. The truther will inform you that they did their own research. He or she might list a bunch of 2-hour videos that you have to watch. And until you've watched them all, you haven't done your own research. And this argument is an appeal to non-existent authority. It implies that until you did the same research that they've done, you haven't really done your own research yet. And if you did, you'd inevitably come to the same conclusion that they did because the evidence is so overwhelming. They don't need to explain their beliefs or share the evidence. And if you were brave, the brave, open-minded, independent person that you claim to be, well, you could follow the evidence and inevitably come to the same conclusion that they did. It's a neat rhetorical trick. Now it's your responsibility to disprove their wackadoodle, outlandish notions, however ill-founded. When a truther tells you to do your own research, they aren't really inviting you to commit to a multi-year search of the relevant documentation. They don't want you to read both sides of an issue or evaluate an argument's strength and their source's credibility. They just want you to believe. And if you can't believe it, they just want you to stop asking embarrassing questions. This has been Raynard Wilson for Conspiracy Tunes.